The Nigeria Communications Commission (NCC) is an agency of the federal government under the Ministry of Communications. It is mandated to regulate the ever-growing telecoms industry of one of the world's fastest-growing telecoms market, Nigeria. Since it was established, the NCC has ensured that high-quality, efficient, and affordable telecom services are available to all Nigerians, while also creating a viable, competitive ecosystem for telecoms operators in the country.
The consumer base has grown from the 400,000 during the days of NITEL to close to 100 million when we had the mobile telephoning. And of course, in September this year, we were looking at 162 million telephone subscribers. And virtually all of them of different categories at different levels are stakeholders. So we've seen that the regulator must have been doing something right. People are enjoying the services. There's an expansion in the level of services and the depth of services. And I think that the NCC pays very close attention to the needs, first of the industry, and also the needs of the consumers or stakeholders. It's a balancing act. We want to keep the investment coming into the telecom industry. You want to keep the operators or the investors happy, to make sure that regulatory or regulations or directions do not hurt them in an adverse manner, does not affect in a negative way their balance sheet or their revenue. But at the same time, you balance that with the interest of the consumers, that they are getting quality service, they are not overcharged for services in terms of the tariff, which we control, and of course, to make sure that whatever is promised by the operators, whatever is on offer, is exactly what they deliver.
Number one thing you do is get in touch with your service providers. Lay your complaint. They are expected to address your issue. If peradventure you feel unsatisfied, we have this short code again, 622. Call 622. That is NCC's contact center, and lay your complaint, and we take it off from there.
Under the 3-year stewardship of the Executive Vice Chairman, Professor Umar Garba Danbanta, the Nigeria Communications Commission has made groundbreaking progress, sowing vital policy and regulatory seeds which have grown and brought forth unprecedented gains for the telecoms industry, for the telecoms consumer, and for the nation, Nigeria. This then is the story of Africa's largest telecoms regulator from the year 2015 till 2018.
I think we have had our challenges. It was never smooth riding from 2015 to date. But the good thing is we were able to come out of those challenges stronger. We even have quite a few as I'm talking to you. But that's the nature of regulating. The 8-point agenda definitely serves as an important, guidance on where, we want the industry, to go and where it is going and where we hope, it will be going in the future, up to 2020, because that is where we said the strategic vision plan, which encompassed, the 8-point agenda, is intended to serve this country.
For the NCC, success is not just about excellence in service delivery, it is about surpassing challenging milestones again and again and again.
Nigeria remains an investment destination in ICT, and that is because of what the people who have pioneered ICT investment have enjoyed in Nigeria. And so we are comfortable with that. With our consumers, the biggest offering you can give to a consumer is to be sure that he gets quality service and at an affordable rate. And they all the time, our consumer unit are always having town hall events, trying to feel the pulse of the consumer and to be sure that we're able to meet his aspirations. And don't forget, we're all consumers in this matter. Consumer is not that person out there. We are all consumers of this service that is provided and that we regulate.
In the past 3 years, under a new administration, driven by a new CEO, the NCC has not failed to impress both local and international watchers.
People thought this was a figure that the NCC, computes. We don't compute our broadband penetration. Whatever information we give about the broadband penetration in this country is courtesy of statistics on the same given by the ITU, UNESCO Broadband Commission for Sustainable Development. And this is a global, regulatory authority.
In these past 3 years, the Commission has succeeded in scaling new heights and blazing new trails. Today, the NCC is more than just a regulator. It is a multi-purpose engine of government that is central to revenue generation, GDP growth, employment creation, national security, and accelerated economic development across the country.
A number of strides in many different directions of progress, starting with, for instance, if you wish, the area of security, job creation, general broadband deployment, broadband service deployment. I don't know in what order, but if you wish to look at, for instance, the area of security, you are aware of what the situation was 3-4 years back, in terms of kidnapping, terrorism, and all this. The Commission worked alongside the security agencies in order to deploy technology in fighting these twin menaces of kidnapping and terrorism. Job creation, the Commission went into overdrive in incubating, innovations. Young startups were identified. In fact, the Commission actively encouraged young citizens, young Nigerians, to really set their minds on inventing things. And these young innovators are given audience with prospective investors who listen to this and in some cases could actually choose to either buy or invest in the development of such innovations. In the last 3 years, the Commission made a point of taking such innovators to the world stage, telecom world events, exhibitions, all over the world, the US, Europe, South Africa, Dubai. We've taken young Nigerians who have something to showcase to ensure that what they are doing receives global attention.
Recognizing communication as a fundamental human right, the NCC, through the Universal Service Provision Fund, is making sure that all Nigerians enjoy telecom services regardless of location or income.
In Nigeria, the Universal Service Provision Fund was established to facilitate the achievement of the national policy goals of universal access and universal service in unserved, underserved, and rural areas of Nigeria. The fund also was established to facilitate the achievement of the achievement of covering or extending the ITC services to the widest areas or widest groups in Nigeria. We have been able to bring down the figure of those Nigerians that do not have access to mobile phone services from 40 million to 30 million within this span of 3 years.
Over the years, the NCC has earned a reputation as the foremost telecoms regulatory agency in Africa. setting the pace and spearheading the deployment of ICT as a catalyst for national development.
The Commission, as you are well aware, we've been pursuing the issue of infrastructure deployment, which has been the death of infrastructure. In fact, had been the key challenge that the Commission has been having all these years because of the peculiarity of our country and our environment. So we were able to overcome to some extent with getting the voice delivery. Now in the data delivery, we have licensed infraco companies, what we call infrastructure companies or infracos, and they have challenges with deployment, and it's something that the Commission is pursuing with all hands on the plow and hoping that we will get the infracos to fully deploy, and that way it is our desire to achieve a 30% penetration on broadband before the end of the year.
Telecommunications remains critical for sustaining growth and diversifying the Nigerian economy. The ICT sector is driving and expanding national production frontiers across all sectors of the economy in line with the economic recovery and growth plan of the federal government.
The economic recovery and growth plan, is one important policy document. In that document, government has provided a role for the NCC, to play in driving growth of the ICT sector in this country.
The phenomenal achievements of the Nigeria Communications Commission under Professor Umar Garba Danbanta is a testament to the commitment and dedication of the staff of the NCC, who have exhibited diligence, integrity, professionalism, and patriotism.
I wouldn't say it is light. It's not light at all. The good thing about regulating this industry is that you have an agency made up of a talented workforce. The best workforce you can hope to have in any agency of government.
We do carry out regular monitoring, and many times we take them unawares, and we present ourselves as a potential customer or a consumer, and then we look into their records, look into their books, listen to them addressing or resolving issues for people, and then we come back. And where we find gaps or lapses, we take it up with them. We come back, right, and follow up.
With a mission to support a market-driven communications industry and to promote universal access, and a vision to be a responsive world-class communications regulatory organization, the Nigeria Communications Commission is rapidly building an information-rich environment, ensuring quality communication service provision, and putting Nigeria on the front lines of the global knowledge economy.